Hello students, this is Mr. T. Welcome to Algebra, and let's talk about the lesson for today. The objective for this lesson is to evaluate nonlinear functions given a value. So yesterday we did lines that were straight. For these problems, the lines are not straight. So for the first problem, we have if h of t equals 1248 minus 160 times t plus 16 times t to the second power, find h of 3. So that means we gotta put in 3 into the function. So I'll start with 1248 minus 160, and then I'm gonna replace the t with 3. So I'm gonna put that number in parentheses. So I'm gonna put 3 in there, plus 16. Same thing, replace the t with the 3 and put in parentheses, and don't forget the little 2, which is the power of 2. So just like pandas, we're gonna do the powers first. So I'm going to do 3 to the second power first. So 3 to the second power, that means 3 times 3, not 3 times 2. So 3 times 3 is 9. So I'll just bring down the other stuff that I haven't used. So 1248 minus 160 times 3, and then plus the 16 times 9. Alright, so now that I already evaluated my power, now I'm going to focus on multiplying. So I'm going to do the 160 times the 3 and then 16 times the 9. So I'm going to multiply 160 times 3. Alright, so I should get 480. And then I'm going to add the 16 times the 9. So I'm also going to multiply the 16 times the 9, which I get 144. Alright, and now we're just gonna follow PEMDAS again. When you have addition and subtraction, you gotta move from the left to the right. So first I'm gonna do 1248 minus 480. So when I subtract those two numbers, I should get 768. And we add the 144. So now when we add those two numbers, 768 plus 144, we should get our final answer, which is 912. And that's it. When you plug in 3 to the nonlinear function, we get 912, and that's all you do for this problem. So with this problem, it's just like it's the same function we just used for the previous problem. The difference is that for this one, we're going to plug in not just the number, but we're also going to plug in a letter with it. So in this case, we're going to replace the t with 2 times z. So let's start by rewriting the function. So I'm going to write down 1248 minus 160, and like before, we're going to replace the t with our input, which is 2 times z, and then put that in parentheses, and then plus the 16 times 2 times z. So we're replacing the t, and don't forget the power of 2. Just like before, when we use PEMDAS, we're going to focus first on the power. So I'm going to rewrite everything the way it is. So I'm just going to bring it down, and then I'm going to multiply inside the parentheses with the power. So 2 to the second power is 4, because 2 times 2 is 4. And then z to the second power is just z to the second power, because it's not a number, so it has to stay the same. Now that we just did that, now we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply the 160 times the 2z, and then the 16 times the 4 and the z square. Alright, so I'm going to bring down the 1248. We haven't used that yet. And then I'm going to multiply the 160 times the 2 and the z. I'm going to ignore the z for now. So 160 times 2 should give me 320, and the z, we just keep it there. And then plus, just as before, we're not gonna multiply the z, it's just gonna stay with it. So 16 times 4 and you should get 64, and just bring down the z to the second power. Alright, so we multiplied already. Let's see what else we can do now. So like before, maybe we have to do subtracting and adding from left to right. But if we try to add the 1248, if we try to subtract the 1248 minus the 320z, it's not possible because the 1248 does not have a z. And the same thing with the other two. The 320 has a z, but the other one has a z to the second power, so that's not possible. So there's no like terms here, so we can't combine anything else. So that has to be the answer. And it is the answer. So my answer is a very long answer, 1248 minus 320 times z plus 64 z to the second power times z to the second power. And that's it. So just go to assignments, click on notes 1.7 example 5, try it. And it's just 2 problems just like the ones I gave you. And do it on a separate sheet and then take a picture and then attach it to the assignment. And that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I'll see you next time.